ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel of Evolution. My name is Shuby, and today we are going to talk about the Trinity again. Mind, body, soul, right? Woo! This structure that we all consciously or unconsciously seek. You know, the connection of the head and the heart, the reaching for the transcendent state, the pinnacle, the peak, that star that's up above us, our soul, understanding life, having meaning and purpose, being driven, being energetic, becoming limitless, being able to feel fear and still go after it, go through it, and love life. All depends on our foundation, right? What is the foundation within that pinnacle? The soul is at the top, the mind, and the body. Normally, I love talking about in these videos the mind aspect, right? Getting out of our ego, getting out of our contradiction, breaking through our fears, breaking through our mental blocks, and these obstacles that constantly stop us because we have a tendency of being hard on ourselves or being naive and being misled and misguided by our own intuition or our own thinking because of our rationalization, right? Like, I was an alcoholic, and I will tell you right then and there that I was the greatest person at rationalizing things, right? It's like, well, I knew this was destructive, but I could give you 1,000 reasons why I needed to continue to do it. You know, it's like we can manipulate anything to support our shit no matter what it is, good, bad, or ugly, right? We rationalize it to fit within our ego or our identity. But that doesn't make it so. It becomes destructive unless it is truth, right? And the truth is what all gives us that solid footing, that solid foundation. Mind and the body. So once you get past the mental side, there's also the body side, which was my first love, nutrition, right? And fitness and exercise. Having a strong body is essential to get off the ground, to reach that soul connection of life, that life-sustaining energy, that constant alignment, the transcendent of the stars in the heaven, Jacob's ladder, reaching upward, building up and off the ground. What happens in construction if we are to try to build this structure, right? The solid structure. We need that foundation. That was even said in the Bible, right? Show me the man who has dug deep. Ooh, also a great metaphor for diving deep into your own subconscious and your soul, the pits of your soul, and laying a foundation, laboring to lay a foundation that is solid and complete. Then when the rains come, and the floods, and the winds, his house will be felt, but it will be unshaken. It will still stand. Whereas the fool is the one who builds his house without the foundation, right on the ground, without doing the work. When the rains come, and the floods, and the wind blows, his house will surely tumble. And this is what happens to us if we don't have our shit together. If we don't have our mind right and our bodies right. That's the foundation. Mind, body. These two things work together. There's 2 points that give us strong footing so we can build higher and higher and higher. And we can never leave the ground without these 2 things in order, right? Because if you're building from one point, trying to go, you're going to fall. Even if you build it straight up and you go, a little bit of wind, it's going to topple that thing, right? But if you come together with a strong foundation, well, then you can sustain all of the elements, good and the bad. Because it's not just about living the good and avoiding the bad. It's about being able to withstand the natural elements of the world. Being a creator. Being powerful, being limitless. Now, the health aspect is overlooked. It's like we know emotional traumas when they happen. You know, when something tears us apart, we can feel it and we know what it is. But a lot of times we overlook the nutrition side because, well, they don't teach us much about it. And because we're programmed to work and achieve and move and go and go and go. Because, well, that's what we do. That's a part of us as well. But what happens when we get so overloaded with work that we take these fast options, right? We just take this garbage food and we start to build ourselves on garbage foundation. You know, that's like a sub-foundation within that one part of the foundation, right? When we start taking shortcuts to compromise that, well, then it's weak. So if we're building a really strong foundation here, but we're taking all this garbage shortcuts on the body side, that structure will still crumble and fall. If we're constantly taking in toxins, we're taking in a burden of stress, just like when we are having mental problems or emotional problems and other obstacles and hindrances and those life things that attack us and try to tear us down. Rightfully so. And what about nutrition? We overlook that. So when you get sick, well, that is because your body is overloaded. It's overstressed. It's overtaxed. You've dumped so much stuff into it that it can't process it all. So it's doing whatever it can to survive and strive and move and go. So we need to clean up our nutrition first and foremost to even try to build upward, to even try to reach this pinnacle of potential and being limitless. We need to clean up our shit so we can have that strong sub-foundation under the body side of the foundation. A little bit of exercise, but cellular structure. Good nutrients. Good fatty acids, good proteins. Limit the metals, limit the toxins. Once we get our food in order, then we start to feel alive. We start to be able to create, we start to be able to think because our mind isn't pulled away. You know, this is the parasympathetic versus the sympathetic nervous system. When you are stressed, you cannot see clearly. You cannot focus on the goal or building upward because there is an immediate threat standing in front of you that you need to deal with now. Therefore, that is the only thing you can see and the only thing that you can focus on because it's a threat. If you can make that not a threat, now you're open to possibility. You're open to potential. The artist can start interior designing the structure that he's building. He can start contemplating other things. But not until you have your shit together, not until you have your house in order, not until your mind is right, your body is right, and your health comes together. And you build that structure strong. Know thyself mentally and physically. Clean up our nutrition because it's toxic as shit because of supply and demand. We, being achievers, want fast options, and fast options often lead to shitty results because, once again, that's the person who builds his house on the sand. Fast results. Get that thing up. Slap it up. Get it going. Might work for a couple weeks and then it's going to topple. You want to do the work, it's going to take the work, and it's going to take time because quality takes time. And you can get it done quicker once you understand the structure and once you know what you're doing. It starts to come more naturally to you. So it's not that it's less work, it's just you know exactly what to do and when. You know thyself, you have your shit together. I love you guys. I'm going to leave you there. We're going to get more into nutrition on my other accounts and in my next video, and get back to the basics and start building upward, taking care of the foundation first. Peace!